Hey guys, and welcome back. Illusion here with you, bringing you a new segment. Today we're going to be covering modded Minecraft news and updates. So in the past week, we've had a lot of updates to the modding community, and in this video I want to bring you some updates, some new information, as well as the direction of my private Titan Tech Pack series. So for those of you that are interested in the modding community and what's coming up and what's new, as well as what the direction of the pack is going and what I might do in the future, stick around, grab a drink, grab a snack, and let's dive right into it. So now let's jump into the really big one, Thermal Expansion 4. Thermal Expansion 4 was updated about a week ago. It's now being broken down into two separate mods, with a third coming in the future. So Thermal Expansion is actually the machinery side of it. Thermal Foundation is the ore generation and any kind of ores that you make, like Enderium. And then the third mod that doesn't have a name yet is going to be your liquid ducts, your conduits, and your item ducts. Those are not implemented in the current build of Thermal Expansion. Now I should say that this is still a very beta build of the pack, so bugs are likely. There's still a lot of things that aren't implemented, like I was just talking about the conduits and item ducts. So keep that all in mind. So Lemming has brought us some new customizations to the machines of Thermal Expansion. We now have this augmentation tab where you can augment or adjust each of the machines based on what you want. You can either make them more efficient, make them work faster, and you can see we have 6 different tabs to play with. So this is really cool, and this applies to all the machines. The next thing we have is caches. So the cache is just like a Java barrel or a factorization barrel, all 4 tiers, the lowest holding about 10,000 and the Enderium, I believe, holding 160,000. So that's pretty cool. And one of the last updates is we now have backpacks, all different 4 tiers of the normal machines in a backpack form. So that's really cool. I will be doing some sort of spotlight on Thermal Expansion. I don't know if I'll wait for a stable build to come out, or I'll maybe just do a what's new and play with the augmentation tab. So definitely look for that in the future. So of course, now since we have Thermal Expansion, the boys also brought us an update to Redstone Arsenal. Redstone Arsenal will now give us a full set of armor that's chargeable, and we got all the usual tools plus a few new tools, the bow being the one that I saw right off the bat. So that's really cool update to Redstone Arsenal. And MFR has been updated, of course. One of the big notes of that is it's now depending on COH core. You have to have that involved. Otherwise, I looked through the changelog, didn't see anything really big in the update. And lastly, we have simply jetpacks. Again, I skimmed the changelog, nothing big, just that it's been updated to 1.7.10. Next on the list is we have Extra Utilities. Extra Utilities had a nice update with the version 1.1.0F. Brought us 3 tiers of generators now with sounds, and we have the return of the sound muffler finally. So with these new tier generators, we have a tier 1 that produces the normal RF, the tier 2 where it produces 8 times as much power, and the tier 3 which produces 64 times the tier 1 generator or 8 times the tier 2 generator. Very similar to like a compact solars. So keep in mind, as we increase our power, our consumables increase. So it's going to cost 64 times as much coal versus the tier 1 generator. So I will be doing a spotlight on these new generators, since my last spotlight of generators has like 15,000 views. I'll definitely be doing an update to the generators. Look forward to it, actually. Now next to Thaumcraft 4.2. Now 4.2 is not released yet, let me say that very first. But Azenor's been teasing us for about a month or so. So here's a nice little cool video that I went and got off his YouTube channel. So we now have some sort of laser system that he's implementing. And the best that I can gather from this video is that we can do several different things. So you can see he's actually using the Ignis portion of the node to actually speed up the Infernal Furnace. So that's pretty cool. So when I start thinking of the Infusion Crafting mechanic, this is kind of the system that I have. And you also can see here he's placing a wand in a bench and actually using it to recharge the aspects while in the bench. So I think there's going to be a lot of cool things that we can do with these new lasers, and I think the Infusion Crafting system is probably one that's going to be most beneficial. But like I said, not released yet, but I would say, since he's been teasing us for a month, I would say we're very close to release of BuildCraft 4.2. OpenBlocks has been updated by Mikey Moo and the gang. Nothing really big here, it just was a direct port. Didn't really see anything much in the changelog besides just some bug fixes. The quick note about that is you do need the open library to go with OpenBlocks. So I'm happy to have my elevator and the hang glider back. So cool, glad to see it's updated. Now, even though IC2 has been out for 1.7.2 and 1.7.10 for a little while, I wanted to throw this in because I thought it was notable. First, my big complaint is, why are we still calling it experimental? It's been almost a year with the experimental title. It's either experimental or it's not. Anyway, so we got some new blocks with the most recent update. So we have a blast furnace, some wind turbines with 4 different tiers of turbine rotors, or turbine blades, heat generators, and then we have the return of refined iron. So the wind turbines seem pretty cool. It's a very big competition to the compact windmills mod, the adjunct mod to IC2. So if you're into IC2, definitely download the newest version and check it out. Let me know what you think. I think I might update this one because it might be kind of cool to play with some of the new blocks. So that's it for IC2. Just a little quick update. Alright, next we have AE2. AE2's been updated for both versions of 1.7. Some quick notes about that is RV0 is considered stable, RV1 is still considered alpha. The RV1 is not does not work well with extra cells from what I understand in the changelog. But there's lots of bug fixes in the alpha that what's not in the stable version of the RV0. So just, know the difference between the alpha and the stable build. He's not going to guarantee your world's not going to break if you're using an alpha build. Auto crafting is now in. The auto crafting mechanic is fairly different than AE1, so that's pretty cool. And I'm just going to throw this out there because I just think this is cool. But he's now included a paintball that you can fire out of the matter cannon, and you can dye them different colors, and not necessarily really something functional, very mechanical in the game, but I see paintball wars coming in the future, so that sounds pretty fun. Next we have Chicken Bones mods. He has updated Ender Storage, Translocators, and NEI. Now, one quick note about NEI. NEI is less broken than the previous versions. I'm definitely not going to call it stable, but it's less broken is the words I'm going to use. Next, we got Railcraft. By the time this video goes live, Railcraft should have a public release for 1.7.10. It's been on ForgeCraft for over a week, and Jaguar was saying that it was pretty much ready based on his Twitter. So look for that. It should be ready. And lastly, we have Blood Magic. Blood Magic had from what I understand, a pretty significant bug this week that should be fixed, and his newer Blood Magic releases have some new spells, so I'll be definitely looking for that. So that's it for these couple mods. Next we have BuildCraft 6.1. Spacetoad put out a video not long ago showing his new robots, builder robots, and we're going to see where we can go with these robots, but I think that might draw a lot of interest back to BuildCraft, seeing what they can do as far as automation for you. So that's pretty cool. Again, I don't even know if he's going to call it a beta. I think this might be still an alpha 6.1. Could be wrong, could be beta, but either way, pretty cool things coming down the pipe for BuildCraft. Next, Britannia. Vasky, I swear, updates like once a day. Every time you log into a pack, you're gonna get oh, you're so many versions behind. So Britannia's been updated a lot, which is really good because I like mod authors that they're continually fixing bugs, hot fixes, and adding new content. Speaking of adding new content, I looked through the changelog of that, and some new things have been added from Britannia, so it might be time to give that a quick look again and see what other things we can get into. Next, Mechanism. I've mentioned it before. Probably one of my favorite tech mods in modded Minecraft right now, at least in the versions we're at. It's been updated. It's been out for a little bit. No big changes in there, but it'll be added in the next rendition of my pack. And lastly, we have power converters. Skyboy and Power Crystals have updated the mod to 1.7.10. So we're going to see if this is going to make it in my pack. I feel it's a little bit overpowered and almost a little bit overused. So I'm glad it's been updated, and we'll kind of wait and see whether it's going to be added to the pack or not. More than likely it will be. And my honorable mention of the video is going to go to Big Reactors. Even though Big Reactors is not out for public release, I've seen some updates and some pictures on Twitter about where he's going with the mod, and it looks great. So, you'll see some pictures there. So really cool. I imagine since Thermal Expansion and all the other RF similar mods are out, that we're probably not too far behind to see a release from Big Reactors, even if it is a alpha or beta build. So that's going to pretty much do it for this episode of the Modded News. And if you stuck with me this far, I appreciate it very much. This is kind of my first attempt kind of stepping outside of what I normally do, so any constructive feedback is always welcome. I want to say thank you to all the subscribers and the followers and everybody that send me positive notes and everything, which kind of reinforces why I'm doing this. I also want to give a big shout out to Bevo. He's kind of the one that kind of led to my inspiration to do this episode. If you don't follow him, you should be. He's doing also a modded news segment, but he's doing it for basically all of modded Minecraft, where I'm doing it more for just as it pertains to my pack. So if you're interested in the modded news as well, please definitely go check him out. He is a very funny YouTuber, and his zest for life is almost intoxicating. So definitely go check him out. His Bevo LJ on YouTube. Everybody else, thanks for joining me, and I will see you guys on the next video.